Hey everyone, Tommy J here and welcome to I Show You Games. Today I'm here to show you Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Phantoms, which is a free-to-play, cover-based third-person shooter developed by Ubisoft, and that was quite the mouthful. So you may recognize this title as I play it through, and that's because it originally went into open beta under the name Ghost Recon Online, but for some reason has recently changed its name to the aforementioned Ghost Recon Phantoms. Anyway, let's have a look at the options menu. So you've got some general options, just chat stuff and your aim spread stuff. Then you have fully rebindable controls, which is always good in a PC game. Then you have video options, which to be honest are quite poor. That's it. You have those 4 presets, and as far as I have been able to tell, you cannot customize it any further. You do however have windowed mode, VSync and resolutions as well, and you may notice I'm in windowed mode. Now, that is because this game does not constrain your mouse. So if you have a second screen, the mouse can move onto that second screen during gameplay. And then if you click off, it's going to click off, minimize you if you're in full screen. So yeah, that even happens in full screen. So yeah, putting it in windowed mode in case that happens, just so it doesn't screw up the recording. Then we have audio sliders. There's an in-game announcer which says stuff sometimes, and you can turn that on or off and then put subtitles for it on. And then you have voice comms, which is, pretty important in a game like this, but I'm going to disable it just for the purpose of the video. Okay, so let's talk about the actual game itself. In Ghost Recon, you play as one of these 3 classes here, the Assault, the Recon, or the Support. And they each have some different weapons. So the Assault uses assault rifles and shotguns, the Recon uses submachine guns and sniper rifles, and the Support uses light machine guns and shotguns again. However, I don't think if you unlock a shotgun for the Assault, it unlocks it for the Support as well, so I think you need to do them independent of each other. Each class also has unique abilities or devices, and that gives them some pretty cool things they can do. So for example, the Assault has one called Blitz, where if I turn him around here, you'll see on his back he's got a bit of a shield. He'll put that onto his arm, and it'll kind of extend down to be almost full body length and charge forward, so you're completely bulletproof from the front. And when you use that, it's got a max duration of up to 8.3, as you can see there, and a cooldown of 200 seconds. So yeah, you can't use it all the time, but it is very useful for pushing forward and breaking an enemy line. Now, you've also got the ADS, which I believe stands for the Active Denial System, and what that is, if I put that on, it's this little fella here, this little floaty thing. And it projects this massive heat wave that just suppresses enemies, and if they're up out of cover, they can't shoot at you because they're too busy dealing with the massive amount of heat being thrown in their face. So then you have the Support tactical abilities, and they are the Active Protective System, I believe it stands for, which is this massive shield spawns around you and you literally can't be shot. It's pretty great. Again, it allows you to push forward. And then you have the Blackout, which is pretty much an EMP. It just charges up and disables enemy devices. So the reason I skipped to Recon and left it till last is because their ability works a little bit differently than the other two. As opposed to just, with the Assault, if you use the charge, whether you use it for the full 8.3 seconds, whether you use it for the full 8.3 seconds or not, it will still take that 200 seconds to recharge. Whereas for the Recon, it's more of a bar and you just use up energy. So if you only use the scan for a couple of seconds, it's only going to use, say, 1/5 of the energy, and it will just stay at that 4/5 and then recharge up from there, as opposed to using it all like it does with the other ones. So the Recon has the scan, which just sends out waves through walls, and you can tag enemies and it lets your allies see those enemies. And then they have Cloak, which lets you turn invisible, again allows you to push. So you may notice that all of the classes each have one kind of supporting helpful ability for the team. For example, the scan or the Active Denial System, the heat wave thing. And then they have one ability that lets them push forward through the enemy ranks. So the Cloak, the Charge, the Shield. And yeah, I feel like they really add to the game. It's pretty cool. You also have some other stuff. There's Squad Support, which are unique to each class. So the Assault can provide everyone with combat regen or more armor. The Recon can provide everyone with this, when an enemy shoots, it highlights them for everyone. And then when an enemy sprints, it highlights them for everyone. And then the Support gives ammo regen for everyone or energy regen for everyone. So that's handy, making your devices recharge a bit faster. Anyway, let's queue up for a little bit of matchmaking. So there are 2 leagues you can queue for, all and beginners. I'm going to queue for beginners, but with all, there are many more options, whereas beginners constrains you to those 2, I think sometimes there's a 3rd map. So yeah, there's a whole bunch here. So let's start the queue. So in Ghost Recon, there are 10 different maps, and they are set modes. So there are 3 different modes. The 3 modes are Conquest, which is there are 5 points. Both teams start with 2 and have to fight over that middle one, and then you fight over the rest of them, obviously. There's Onslaught, where one team is attacking, one team's defending, and there are 3 bases that the attacking team must destroy. So it's attack A or B, then finish off the other, then you can attack C. And then there is Holdout, where there's just 1 point in the middle of the map and you both fight for control over it. Now, the interesting thing about all of these maps is when you capture a point, it adds time. So time really can vary in a lot of the maps. For example, a Holdout map, every time either team catches the point, it increases the time by like 2 minutes or something. So if the team's capturing the point more than every 2 minutes, the game can last a while. And yeah. There are 10 maps, they're all across a lot of different locations, like there's one in a metro, the beginners list just has 3, there's one in metro, one in the Nukes, which is kind of like an urban environment, and one in Attica, which from what I've been able to tell is kind of like it's like a penthouse kind of suite, like it's on top of a building, high-rise building, and it's pretty cool. All of them are quite nice. And yeah, the Beginners League, which I'm in at the moment, is an incredible addition to the game, really. What it does is you'll notice these have levels on them. Until you have a single class at level 8, you can be in the Beginners League, which is for beginners only. So if you have a single class above level 8, you're excluded from it and you can't queue for it. Let's just close that. And yeah, it lets new players play against new players. And since the game does have a reasonable population, it's a really, really cool thing. And you can play up until, as I said before, you're level 8. Which means that I'm not going to play my Recon again, because if I play and the Recon gets level 8, then I'll get thrown in with all of the other people. Anyway, let's have a quick talk about the cash shop just while we're in queue, because it is a large part of this game. So, you buy weapons in this game in a way that's a bit different to all the other ones. It's not just reach a certain level, get a certain amount of XP to unlock a weapon. What you actually need to do is buy the one before. So let's say I go to my shotguns. I own the starting shotgun. And then I could buy the tier 1 shotgun, which is this one, but I couldn't buy the tier 2 until I've bought the tier 1. And what that means is you do need to buy each of them over and over. So if I click on my Recon here, I am up to this submachine gun, but I needed to buy these first 2 to get access to this one, and they're quite expensive. Anyway, the game's up, I'll talk more about that in a bit. But essentially, what it comes down to is, say that 3rd weapon cost 18,000, you earn about 250 to 350 of that currency per match. Ooh, get to vote. Let's go Nukes, because that's always a fun one. So yeah, you earn between 250 and 350 currency per game. And games can go for 20 minutes. So to get that 18,000 does take a while. You also get, let's go Assault. You also get 1,000 every time a class levels up. So while you're in the Beginners League, you can get 3 classes to level 7, so that's 21,000 to spend. Which means you can buy 1 tier 3 gun, assuming you already have the first 2 unlocked. And what that does is it really does drive people towards using the cash shop, because it does become that bit of a grind, which can be a bit of a problem. Anyway, we're loading in. It's just 8 versus 8. I'm fairly sure in the non-beginner league you can get more people, or the minimum size is decreased. But it does change it up a fair bit and make it a bit harder, because people obviously have better stuff. And yeah, you may notice no one's ping really is green, there's only a couple. I'm not sure where in the world the servers are, but you can't really select an area. I'm fairly sure it just auto-assigns you to it. So you can get pretty screwed over just through ping. However, ping feels fine. Even though I'm always on red ping, sometimes I'll go up to yellow. never really feel like you're lagging, and you never really feel like you're put at a disadvantage because of it, which is good. I mean, it means they've compensated for it. Okay, so this is the map. Oop. Okay, cool. It is in warm-up. So you do get this 1 minute warm-up period before the match starts, which is really good, just to let everyone load in. Now, one thing about this game is you'll notice at the start, before the map loaded in, I selected Assault. That means I can only play Assault. I can't play any other classes for the duration of this game. I can swap weapons in my redeployment, but that's it. That's all you can do. Oh, weapons and abilities and that kind of thing. Shoot you. Oh, you're looking at me. Silly person. I guess it was just warm-up. So yeah, you can change your loadout just by clicking that weapon will change it. And yeah, let's get into it. So this map is Conquest. You may notice in the top right there are the points, and they are in a line, so you can't attack B unless you control C kind of thing. Now, when you're actually attacking, you'll notice on the ground there's kind of a hatched pattern. Whoop. Get you. There's kind of a hatched pattern, and that is the area you must be in to capture it. So you can sit prone like me, or you can sit on the other side like my teammates are. Hopefully they don't see me, because I'm lying here prone out in the open, and it could get very bad for me. But we are slowly capturing. Oop, that ally died. So this game is quite slow with its combat, which I like. It's very tactical. And you really do need to concentrate and do things properly. Ooh, there is an enemy just rolling around there. Come on. Yep, got him. So yeah, since the game is much slower and more tactical, running and gunning, that style of play, doesn't really work. And people who do that will often just get killed. And I'll show you in a second when I stand up, but when you're running, it actually takes a little bit to arm your gun. Bam. 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 Ah. As if that last one wasn't a headshot. So yeah, you do get those damage indicators pop up every time you deal damage. Missed him. And captured the point. Gotcha. Okay, so let's push forward. Maps do have multiple paths. Let's slide. Gotcha. Maps do have multiple paths. As you can see here, there's kind of this lower path which lets you flank either team. You can fall down from there, and you walk around that way to attack my team, this way to attack theirs. And there's another little point you can drop down like up there on each side. So in this game, teamwork is very, very important, and having one person who's just far superior to everyone else in the game often won't win you the game, just because their team could just be better at working together. Let's slide here. So you may notice when I went into cover then, I gained some stats, like 30% control, 28% accuracy, 75% stability. So being in cover does boost your weapons. Let's try and push forward, since that's what the game's all about. Now, it does take this, it has this interesting take on third person, because when you're in cover, well, actually anytime, if you right click, you can aim down your sights.
Securing Delta.
Where were you? Gotcha. Yeah, you can aim down sights. And it's pretty interesting that they were able to, in my opinion, successfully implement this first-person system into a third-person shooter. And I'll tell you what, it does feel quite good. Okay, so deploying. Now, unfortunately, you do deploy 1 point back from where you control. So we control C, which means I just deployed at B. So you do get a little bit of a run between deaths. Which I guess is okay, because it does make the game more tactical. It punishes dying. Yeah, and it does make it easier for you to take back points and things like that, which is good. And there are enemies over there. Gotcha. Now, the Assault is obviously the mid-ranged kind of class, whereas the Recon can go long-ranged or short-ranged, because Assault rifles, I have an Assault rifle, because sniper rifles or submachine guns.
Delta secured.
And then the Support is kind of close range with the shotgun, or medium again with the light machine gun. But, having said that, you can go any distance you want with any class, as long as you're shooting right. Ooh, God. That was not good. Probably should have checked those corners. One cool thing about when you die is you get this little damage taken thing up here, and I really like this. I think this is great. And what it does is it literally tells you where you were shot, by who, with what gun, and how much damage it did. So this was the kill shot here. And the interesting thing is it lets you learn stuff about how, like, if they get a shot in your heart or your head, it does more damage. Whereas on your hands, I believe, will do less, which is pretty cool. And you also have damage you've dealt with your gun and to who, which is pretty cool. And red is just a critical hit. So you may have noticed if I'm just standing here like this, I've got a 1% critical. If I zoom in, 1, but then if I take cover and zoom in, it'll go up. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. And most of the information is available on screen with things like that, which is pretty great. So the movement is a little slow, as it would be in a tactical game. And as I said before, when you stop running, like if I click shoot, it does take that time. So yeah, it does take that second. And depending on what gun you have, it can take more or can take less. That's not a good idea. There is clipping through teammates. We can literally stand on top of each other, which can get a bit weird, but I guess for gameplay purposes, that does simplify it a little and make it a bit better. Gotcha. Standing out of cover, never really a good thing to do. Haha, he was waiting for the teammate. Ooh, there's an enemy. Gotcha. Spraying never really works in this game. Got you too. Yeah, spraying never really works, and you do need to fire in short bursts, otherwise your weapon just loses all accuracy, and it's never good.
Heavy casualties inflicted.
So we're currently just spawn camping them. They're on their final point, which means they can't spawn back any further. So spawning here means we just have easy pickings, which, yeah, one shot's enough. Probably isn't a good thing. They could have picked a better way to deal with that, like maybe making another point a bit further back where you can spawn. However, it would make defending your final point that bit harder, and yeah. Let's see if I can get up in here. Swap to the pistol. Oh, you can't climb up. Oh, well, let's see if I can. Shots with the pistol. Yeah, the pistol actually feels surprisingly good, even though it looks a bit funny when you're in first person. Yeah, it feels nice. Now, aside from walking over enemies, there is no other way to get more ammo. So you can run out mid-round, and it can be a bit troublesome. So the first round's over. We got 5 points, as in we controlled 5 points, so we get 5 points for it. And after the next round finishes, this it'll tally this up with whatever happens in the next round. So say they got 5 in the next round, it would be 5 blue to 5 red. We'd go to a third round. Anyway, let's give this another go. So the maps aren't asymmetrical, as you've probably noticed, which is interesting. For example, the direction we're pushing right now has a lot more to defend than the one we just pushed did. Ooh, he is shooting at me. One interesting thing is when you're moving, it puts your camera up a little bit so you can check who's around just by moving left and right and strafing. I can see that guy now. Ooh. Yeah, it doesn't look like they're capturing too well. Ooh, scan is not good. Let's move over here Do this smoke grenade. Hopefully they won't see me. Now, things like grenades are actually interesting because they're consumables. They have limited uses. So you pay 600 of that currency, the AC, I'm not sure what it stands for, and it gives you 10 grenades. Which I don't think is a good way to do it. Because you only get between... There was an enemy there. You only get between... Distracted by bullets. You only get between 250 and 350 when you play. So for 10 grenades, you're paying essentially 2 rounds winnings. Let's just hold this till the other teammates can move up. Ooh. Are you gonna pop up? No, he's moved. Let's move back a little bit so they can't shoot me. Because I need a little bit more cover. A little bit more friend. Before I can really push up. They keep detecting me with the Recon ability scan. It's good that it tells you you've been detected, so you can kind of counter it a little bit by dropping back or doing something like that. Now, which one of them's going to pop up? Neither. They're going to sit there. Oh, good. But our teammates flanked them. So they are now dead. And we can all push up. And yeah, as I said before, the teamwork really is important in this game. Is there anyone there? Nope. Oh, yep. Nope, dead. Damn it. Sprayed a bit too much. Did not shoot accurate enough. Wow. Look at those shots. That's 3 to the head. That's brilliant. Kudos to him. Very well done. I guess he did have a submachine gun. Now, the submachine gun doesn't actually kick back as much as my gun, so you'll notice when I shoot, it actually gets some decent rise on it. I mean, look at that bullet. Them bullets. So yeah, it's... If you're using a submachine gun, you can shoot much closer to full auto than you can in this gun. And you can actually change your weapon fire as well. So right now it's auto. I can change it to burst, and then change it to semi. So you do have those options, which is pretty nice, although pretty standard for a shooter. He's probably going to pop out the other side to try and trick me. Oh, he's probably going to die to a teammate. Okay, let's put it back on auto. Jump over this. You can also switch the side of your view, so you may notice I'm moving sides here, which is quite handy, because some corners... You really need to. Gotcha. Both of them went down. And yeah, that's the little ammo symbol, which means I can walk over them and get a bit of ammo. But you do need to sit on them, and it kind of gives it to you over time. As you'll notice, it's kind of counting up. Which is an interesting way to do it, and I like it, because it means you can't just sprint out, run over someone, and take their ammo. You do have to sit there and actually take it. Now, hopefully me being here gives my teammates a bit of an advantage. There isn't a window I can use to help cover them. But they're slowly pushing up, and by holding this top floor, I'm stopping them getting to the window over there, which... Oh. Damn it, me. Oh, he was so close to dead as well. 4 health. Oh well. Oh. Someone crawling on my body. Having fun, I hope. So yeah, as I said, the grenades are limited use, and I actually got a couple of smoke grenades from an event. They gave us 20, which was pretty nice of them. But as far as this other stuff goes, you've got things like field support, which as far as I know, there aren't actually any items yet. Then there's squad support, which is those things I was talking about earlier. And then you have your pistols, your armor, and all that kind of stuff. Now, armor does only last a certain amount of games. So what that means is after, say, 20 games, your armor loses its effectiveness. Now, I haven't had that happen yet, so I'm not sure to what extent it gets damaged, like what negative effects it actually has. Is there anyone up there? Nope, let's climb over. So we don't have any teammates up there. No one there. Damn it. They were ready. So yeah, your armor does last a limited amount of rounds, and what that means is you need to rebuy it. I don't know if there's some sort of repair. Wow, 3
Securing
headshots.
Bravo.
It's very good. So yeah, I was able to understand why I died then. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I am normally on red to yellow ping, and I haven't felt it whatsoever. Like, I haven't felt like I've died to bad ping once in this game. And it's really interesting that that's the way, because it must mean they have some really, really good detection, not detection, but way to compensate for it. Let's climb up there. When an enemy does go on a rampage, it kind of gives them this little heads up and shows everyone where they are. Oop. Oh, yeah. So you poke your head round. There's someone there. I wonder if I can shoot them. Nope. It's a standoff. Gotcha. Ooh, no. And I was running, so I couldn't raise my gun. Should have walked with the gun up. But yeah, despite these long walks back, the game is... like, that's probably one of my biggest problems with the gameplay itself. This round I'm only 5-4. I think last round I was like, I don't know, 10 for 1 maybe? 8 for 1? Anyway, despite the long walks back, and the slow pace, the game still feels like there are things happening. Because halfway back, you're watching teammates, what they're doing, and what's happening, just so, yeah, you can plan what you're gonna do. Teammate died there, which means there's probably one sitting just behind that wall where they were before. Not sure how I can push that. Let's move up, see if anyone shoots at me. Actually, I know how I can push it. Let's use my shield. Running forward. Oh, no one was here. Good. Damn it. Ooh. What? Okay, I did not know you could shoot there. And he died. So let's move down here with the teammates. Take some... actually, move over here.
Securing Bravo.
Move along the wall a bit so teammates covered. Ooh, there's someone who's cloaked. What? Where did they go? Right there. Yeah, so cloaking is surprisingly efficient. He got right up next to me before I noticed him. And thankfully, that teammate covered my ass. But I covered his a bit, so...
Securing Bravo.
let's keep up. There must be defenders. Wow, he is. That is completely my fault. I apologize.
Heavy casualties inflicted.
So yeah, taking cover, big advantages compared to standing up. Now, you do have limited health regen. It can be boosted by certain things. Round's about to end anyway. But as you can see, my health's on 11, 12, 13, 14, so it's going to take me a while to get that 140 back. Oh yeah, it goes into overtime because we're capping a point. Got you. That is...
Losing Bravo.
it's probably an enemy right there. In fact, there is. Pistol!
Warning.
Ah.
Heavy casualties.
Spraying with a pistol, not as effective as spraying with a light machine gun. Ah, well, we're about to win the round. Because we are capturing a point, it does give us that overtime, even though we've clearly won. Kind of lets us get more points, but as far as I know, that doesn't affect how much currency you get. It seems to be based on time. Like, I had a 19-minute game before, and I think I got about 300. Oh, yeah. Let's try and push up. I wonder if the round will end instantly once... oh no, it's just giving us... oh, damn it. Giving us a bit of extra time to capture it, even though none of us are on the point anymore. I think we actually all got wiped out then, so good job to them. But yeah, I think this here is great. Like, I really like that. Anyway, let's... oh. Ah, auto-deployed. That's alright. Auto-deploying is a bit of a weird thing. Because, The only reason you'd not want to auto-deploy is if your team's about to capture a point. So say they were about to capture B and I don't want to spawn at D, I could wait that extra 5 seconds and spawn at C instead, which is interesting. Oop, that was not a good idea by me. There are going to be so many enemies here. Oh, damn it. What? Okay, I don't know what happened then. I assume he was shooting at me, but maybe that was a bit of lag on his end. Yeah, best assault. Like a boss. So you do get medals based on what you've done, which is pretty cool. And, yeah. As you can see up the top, we got our 8 points to their 2. That's nice. Match timer, 19 minutes 39. It's pretty long matches. And if you leave the match early, you will get penalized, and I believe you earn less AC. So yeah, I leveled up, I get 1000 AC, and then it gives me an offer. Ooh. So my tactical suit. Yeah, okay, so you can repair them. You don't need to rebuy another one, which is good, but 600, that's 2 games. Which means that it'll give me more rounds. Let's repair that and just see what its efficiency is, because currently the efficiency is only 80%. So if I repair that, then go to my assault's armor, cancel that search. The efficiency is 100% for 30 game rounds. Okay, so once that gets to 15, it loses some efficiency. Hey guys, sorry about that, but my game just crashed, and that's never happened before, so I have no idea what did it. Anyway, before I wrap this up, let's just have a look at the shop. And before we do so, let's quickly just have a look at the real money currency, which is GC. Oh, ghost coins. There we go. Buy ghost coins. So, what ghost coins are is, of course, the currency that's bought with real money, and you will get approximately 2,000 for $10. However, if you buy the more expensive ones, you will get more than that. So, by buying this one here, you get a bit over 3,000 for every $10 you've spent. Anyway, just for the purposes of having a look at stuff, let's go with this price. So let's head over to the shop. Now, when I was talking before about your weapon progression, so you need to buy the first to unlock the second, buy the second to unlock the third. There's one thing I didn't mention, and that is these unique weapons up the top. So the MP9 is the next one in the list. Let's go to this one. Looks fancier. And you'll see here I can buy it for 76,000 of the in-game currency or 1,900 of the real money currency, so that's approximately $10. Now, what this up here does is it lets you skip this progression, but it won't unlock the next one. So say I was to buy this MP9, it won't unlock the P90 for me. But if we, let's just add up some costs quickly. So 6,000 plus 12,000 plus 18,000 gives you 36,000. And then it's likely this weapon would be 24, which means 60,000 to buy this. Then there are some attachments as well. So if we go to here, there's a bottom attachment. There was a grip on it, which is 3,000. I think there was a barrel attachment, which is another 2,000. Was there another barrel attachment? There may have been another one, which let's just say 6,000. So to upgrade this gun, that's 11,000. So if we go back, that is approximately, or a little bit less than the cost to just buy it here. So what you can do is you can save up and just buy the weapon you want from here, instead of going through that whole progression system, which is a decent thing, I guess. But when it takes so long to get the in-game currency, and if you enjoy this game, it might actually be worth paying the $10 to unlock the gun you want. But I wouldn't do that too often because it could get very expensive. So yeah, it's the same price for all of the guns, with handguns being a bit cheaper. Now, there are some other things as well. There's Magnum ammo, which costs 800 of your in-game currency, which is approximately 3 rounds worth, and it gives you a 20% boost to damage for 10 rounds, but you lose that 10% control, which is, I believe, the recoil that you get. So yeah, there's that. There's also tack suit upgrades. So you'll notice that in my current suit, which is a standard suit, I have 2 slots. What goes in these slots are these here. So anti-crit will give you a 5% anti-crit chance. Wow, words. And 3 max health. So instead of 140, I'd be on 143. and there are a whole bunch of these, with some of them being a bit better than others. And there are things like anti-crit, health regen, max health, and damage mitigation. So obviously if you spend, if you get a lot of money, so if you play the game a lot, or if you buy these with real money, you will have that advantage over other people because you do have these extra stats. And they're not huge, they're not major. So someone who's better than you will probably still kill you, even if they just have the basic stuff and you have everything upgraded. There's also headgear available just for the in-game currency, for real money, but it doesn't affect you whatsoever, it just changes what you look like. That is not incredibly high res. Anyway, that's about it for all these devices and consumables. You can also buy a 25% or 50% XP and AC boost, Athena credits they are. And there is one last thing, and that's the Athena Armory access. Now this is essentially a subscription to the game, and it will give you early access, access to unique items that I assume if you don't have this you can't get, extra storage space, a 100% boost, and your tactical suits do not decay, so you won't have to repair your armor. You also gain weapon proficiency at twice the normal rate. What weapon proficiency does is as you use a weapon, you get an increased crit chance with it. Now, because of that and some of this stuff, the game could be viewed as pay to win, because you can buy real money, you can buy things with real money. Anyway, overall, the game is actually surprisingly enjoyable. The combat's a bit slower paced, and if you're looking for a run and gun game, this isn't it. However, if you want a more tactical game that you can play with friends, this absolutely fits the bill. At first glance, the cash shop does provide you with an advantage, and it lets you get to later weapons and gear faster if you spend money. However, money is no replacement for skill, and in a game as tactical as this one, it's more about teamwork and coordination and personal skill rather than what guns you have. Though it is definitely worth keeping in mind that you do get that advantage, particularly since it does take so long to get the in-game currency, and in my opinion, this is the game's biggest weak point. However, the Beginners League is a brilliant idea, and it really does make learning the game a fair bit easier, which is always good with a game like this, and chances are people in the Beginners League are just trying out the game and haven't spent a lot of money in it, so you are on that even playing ground anyway. So yeah, if you think this may be the game for you, since it is free to play and available on Steam, you can always just download it and give it a go. Anyway guys, this has been Tommy J with I Show You Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Phantoms. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to favourite, like and or subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a good one.